Guys, and welcome back to another video. It's a wrestling review this time. Normally there'd be live reactions, but it was only Fastlane, so it's just a review, and it really did feel just like Fastlane. It was just a overly glorified version of Raw. Some really high points in it that were quite unexpected, but the last hour really kind of sucked for me anyway. Little note here of everything. The Cruiserweight Tag Team match that was on the pre-show. The faces won, nothing really to say, kind of popped the crowd. I never watched the match, but got the result. The show then opened up with Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn. Very good way to open the show. Samoa Joe winning, and a really good match, by the way. Went on about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but really, really good. Good to see Joe looking dominant in his first pay-per-view match. We then had the Club versus Enzo and Cass for the tag team titles, and kind of a messy finish. It was one of those, oh, we'll knock your foot off the rope so the rope break doesn't count moments from the Club. And the Club do retain, which is good. The Club needed that, but I don't know, it was kind of a running theme through the night that the finishes they're good, but they don't really make much sense. Just the finishes in general of the night weren't the best. But the Club do retain the titles, which is good. After that, we had the Cruiserweight title match, was it? Yeah, the Cruiserweight title match between Neville and Jack Gallagher. Probably match of the night. Yeah, I'd say so. Neville picking up the win, hitting a sick German suplex on Jack Gallagher, pushed him into the ropes and bang. Replays didn't really do it justice, but when you're watching it live, it looks like he got it right in the bridge of his neck. It looked horrendous. Winning with the Red Arrow, which, you know, now he's healed, won't pull out as much, so it's good to see that move again. Rumours of a Cruiserweight title ladder match to open the show at WrestleMania, so that'd be really good. And Neville going in as champion, obviously, what the division needs right now. We then had Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax, and yeah, I predicted this one right with Sasha winning, but I don't know. I think she was trying to do the tweener thing of holding the ropes while in a bridge, but didn't really work, which is unlucky because, you know, it was a fine match. It was basically just a Royal Rumble match, but a little bit added on at the end. Yeah, Sasha picking up the win, but not the last time we'll see her tonight. I'll get to that in a minute. Then we had the Raw filler segments. The pre-show, Rusev and Jinder Mahal, they got into a thing because they weren't on the card and they didn't want to be tag team partners anymore, so they got chucked into two random matches that had no build and no reason to care about them. Against Cesaro, complaining to Mick Foley as well in the pre-show that he didn't have a match and he should be on the card. So it was Cesaro versus Jinder Mahal. It was a fine match. It was a Raw match. It was a very, very Raw match. Let's put it that way. Cesaro wins. I did predict Cesaro for that. We then had Big Show versus Rusev, handsome Rusev, and this match was a lot better than what I was expecting. I would have thought, you know, give Rusev the win, you know, build him up a little bit, but no, Big Show wins because obviously he's got the match that might be happening with Shaquille O'Neal. Is it still happening? Who knows? But Big Show picking up the win, and that was my first wrong prediction of the night. I was quite gutted. But I wouldn't predict the whole pay-per-view right, even if those two matches never happened because of the women's match. But before that, we had Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns, and of course the big dog comes away with the win. But I'm happy enough with this match. It's just if Roman Reigns really is going to versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania, The Undertaker should have been here. But, you know, it's just, it needed that little something. Because obviously we saw all the big spots on Raw with the contract signing. I mean, there was a good announce table spot when Strowman went over the top rope when going for the big boot. That was quite a sick spot. You know, it took a hard bump, but also with Roman Reigns winning, that was like 2 spears and 3 or 4 Superman punches, I think. At least 3. And yeah, he comes away with the win. We then had Bayley versus Charlotte for the women's title, and this was like matches that got announced beforehand. This was the only one I got wrong, and this is probably probably joint worst finish of the night. Kind of botchy from Bayley, which is quite rare, but what can you do? And then the finish as well. Charlotte going for a moonsault on the outside. Sasha Banks runs down. And, you know, Charlotte and Sasha start getting it out. So you think, oh, okay, that's DQ. Charlotte keeps a streak. Bayley keeps the title. That's a good story for Mania. No. What happens is the referee sees it blatantly. He is looking right at it. And just keeps the match going. Bayley then hits the Bayley to belly on the outside. Rolls Charlotte back in. There's a roll up. And Charlotte gets a handful of tights. Sasha Banks points it out. Which, okay, you had the opportunity to, you know, sort of save the match in a way by having Charlotte roll the tights, but I don't know, I felt really heelish from the faces, which is not the best thing to do. Then Bayley went in with another Bayley to belly. Charlotte's streak is over, and I'd have been fine with it ending here if it was, you know, a decent finish, but the fact it was just, it was a botchy ending to what could have been a fantastic push for whoever took the streak away, which is quite unfortunate. But that's not the not the worst thing to happen, because main event time, Kevin Owens versus Bill Goldberg, and I was literally looking at the time that was left on the thing, on the pay-per-view, and it was when the women's match ended. There was 15 minutes left. They then showed an advert for Seth Rollins going to be on Raw. Then the entrances. So by the time they actually got to the ring, I think there was something like 7 minutes left of the actual pay-per-view. And the match never even got started for like 5, because Kevin Owens, what I thought it was quite brilliant, kept on going outside the ring, getting himself hyped up. But then as soon as Kevin Owens came in and said, all right, ring the bell, Jericho. Again, I'm fine with him being there and setting up the match at Mania, but the title should be in the Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho match, not the Goldberg Brock Lesnar match. And the fact it only lasted 22 seconds, I mean, I know there was like 5 minutes of Kevin Owens outside the ring, but 22 seconds, that's what, a quarter of the time? A fifth of the time that Brock Lesnar lasted, which, you know, I guess had to be done because, you know, you need to keep Brock Lesnar looking like an absolute animal. But 22 seconds for the longest reigning Universal Champion to lose it. I didn't like the finish to this at all. And again, although we saw Heyman earlier on the show, there was no Brock Lesnar. Yeah, I'm overly disappointed. Although I don't need to do any punishments because I only got 2 out of 10 wrong. I got 80% in this. I'll take that. But I wish I got 2 more wrong. So looking forward to WrestleMania. It's going to be a different Mania, to say the least. Yeah, I had no idea what the card is going to be now. Well, obviously we've got Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. We've got Jericho versus Owens. But are we going to see what's Roman Reigns going to do? Because if Like, really, if you wanted him to versus the Undertaker, Undertaker needed to be there tonight. So, and it's a weird one. Definitely need to see Raw tomorrow, and obviously keep track of WWE up till Mania. I'll have live reactions and predictions for Mania coming out about the end of March, so keep an eye out for that. I've been Declan. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.